Okay. I am loading it up right now. There we go. Yep, everything looks good.
Okay. Going to just copy this link and put it in the Discord. Okay. Everything look good?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yep, yep.
Okay. Yeah, so looks like you went on a bit of an upswing lately.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely the ratio of studying more than playing has been paying off. Still a lot, but every single time I play, I'm kind of anxious to go back to studying because there's just so much that I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean that's definitely a process in
Yeah,
and learning is
but I don't
it's
feel like overwhelmed either, though. I feel very like,
that's
it's
good.
it's
I
doable.
mean,
Yeah.
when you go into each session, the goal really
Yes.
is just to
Mm.
feel like clear-minded and dialed in. And you might
Yeah.
like you're not gonna get every spot right, but
Yeah.
it's just like having kind of feeling like pretty confident about your game plan. Like
Yeah.
um, yeah, just being relatively content with uh, your ability to evaluate every spot.
Yeah.
And that'll improve. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
you're at this stage where you're kind of realizing how much you don't know, which is
Yeah.
it's
Each
something
session is
every
like that. Yeah.
yeah like every poker player goes through this, especially
Mm.
like even you know
But I'm excited about it though, because it's just
mhm,
like, you know, I
mhm.
mean, I was doing somewhat decent before all this happened, but to know that like I can get even better is just like, why would I stop?
Yeah, no, that's a good feeling is
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, knowing you can get better. Um, okay, so you said you had some hands tagged.
yeah. Um, do you do you want me to read off the hand
Yeah,
number?
yeah.
Okay. Um, the first one's gonna be 2, 3.
Hold on just one second. I
Yeah.
gotta load the hands.
Actually, would it be easier if I just typed it to you?
Uh,
Or up to you,
no,
whatever.
just read it
Okay.
off.
All right. 239.
Oh, what the? Hold on. It's just PT4 just being slow. 1 second.
It's all good.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, what?
Um,
Oh, jeez. God. Okay, this is so tilting. Okay. Um, Give it like 5 seconds.
no problem.
Okay.
All right. It still says it's. Oh yeah, I'm on a delay. Totally forgot about that.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, 239
Mm-hmm.
04
Mm-hmm.
13
13,
91
91.
334.
Okay.
And it's gonna be ace queen suited.
Okay. Okay, so under the gun opens. We three bet to 12. I like this. We're like a tad deeper, so
Yeah, yeah,
um cool. Okay, so this is interesting, right?
yeah, yeah,
Um so obviously on this board we're gonna have a lot of strong hands.
yeah.
Okay.
Especially being we 3-bet pre-flop, then he just calls.
Mm-hmm.
So
So give me like we have a rough idea of what your range is, right?
yeah,
It's gonna be
yeah,
like decent suited broadways, we're gonna have some gutters like queen 10. Um, we'll have like some king 10 suited. We'll have like some strong ace x, ace king ace queen, some
Yeah.
ace 5 suited stuff like that. So
So like,
th-
so with that being said, like this is a board that even from the small blind, I want to c bet out of position right here, right? Or
yeah,
would that?
yeah, we're gonna be c-betting this board a
Okay.
lot. Like
Okay.
it's definitely a good board for us. We're gonna have like all the sets and two pair and
Okay.
ton of ace x. So give me, but
Hmm.
another important factor here is give me a rough break. So I'll go into why this is important, but give me a rough breakdown of
Okay.
imposition's range.
Um, a lot of a lot of pairs, I would think. But I say a lot of pairs, but then, his position is it's pretty early. Well, yeah, it's like
Yeah, he opened
it's
under the
under the
gun, right?
gun. Yeah.
So he,
So
he
he's
might
gonna
he might have like some sevens and eights or whatever, and I would imagine that
jacks maybe, like
yeah he could have
tens,
he could have
nines.
jacks. He can even have ace king.
Okay.
Um, he'll have a decent amount of like ace king off and ace queen suited, ace jack suited.
Okay.
Um, I think ace 10 suited. Like it's gonna be very ace x heavy
Ace heavy. Right, right,
if
right,
I
right.
if I recall correctly. I'm gonna
Okay.
pull up the. Oh no. There we go. Jeez. Um. So low jack opens. Oh, 2.5. Folds to small blind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So. Mm,
Yeah, we're doing a lot of betting
oh, this is kind of
for
funny.
ace
Hold
queen.
on. I'm gonna check
Okay.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So against the low jack, we actually turn some hands into a bluff that because like so here king queen suited is a pure three bet. So if we
Okay.
look at the response, um, yeah, like ace queen off is pure folding. Um, and then we get four bet by ace king. This is kind of interesting, but yeah. So
Yeah.
just um,
It makes sense though. Yeah.
well that was the oh yeah that was the
That
low
was the
jack.
response, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's gonna
Okay.
be
Okay.
like very ace x heavy.
Yeah.
He can have like some of these low pairs or suited connectors.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, like, and then
Wow,
on
he's
this board
calling with
we're gonna
six
have
five
like
and five. Wow.
some queens and jacks, and then we're gonna have like all the ace king and aces and kings and ace queen,
Yeah.
right? So on a board like this, and then we're gonna have like king queen king jack king 10. Um, on a board like this, I think. See, the ranges are really tight. So if we have a hand like, so we need to think through like all the hands we have and like what hands we can get a lot of value out of. So
Right.
this is a board I think I would split.
Okay.
Uh, and this doesn't have to be rocket science, right? So
Right.
um, imposition is very tight here. So like we can't just take like ace jack suited and just go bananas, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
like imposition will have like
Yeah.
ace king, ace queen, um, and yeah, I mean, like the range is so tight that
We can't invest that much.
right with
Right.
yeah. So I'm thinking on a board like this, it would make a
Mm-hmm.
lot of sense to take a hand like ace king
Mm-hmm.
or or uh, or kings. Generally, we don't want to be betting very big with sets out of position and low SPR
Okay.
spots because like we just don't need that much protection. But this spot's kind of different because imposition is so ace x heavy
Yeah.
that if you have kings, Um, though,
You can get a
like,
lot of value, right?
yeah, yeah, you can get a lot of value here. And yeah, like, so if I have like, well, the flip side is if I have something like Ace Jack,
Mm.
right? I
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, well, it makes a lot more sense just to like bet very small. So then we can
Okay.
get called by like, queens and jacks, and
Okay.
some king
So
X, some ace five. Um,
so bet so between like 25%, 33%,
well, I'm thinking even smaller.
10%.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
something like
I've
very
seen The
very.
Sims do that a lot. I'm like, I don't, is that
Mhm.
good in game?
Yeah,
Like, I'm
well,
not sure.
yeah, because well,
Yeah.
so think about why it makes
It
sense
has
because
it has to be. Yeah.
if we bet big with this hand, we're not
Mm-hmm.
getting that much value. We're getting value
Right.
out of like ace jack and maybe ace 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah.
we we chop with ace
Exactly.
queen.
Yeah.
We lose to ace king.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think this sort of hand would make a lot of sense to just bet small and like get that thin value out of like queens and
Right.
jacks, or like uh,
Okay.
pocket tens with a backdoor flush draw, right?
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That's kind of what we're targeting here. So it doesn't have to be like exactly 10%, but like I might bet something like 15% of the pot,
Okay.
um, and then on the turn on a board like this, I would just be.
Super cautious if like if the flush came and they like started betting. You
Well,
just
after you bet very, very small, you're not that scared of
Mhm.
draws completing, right? Because
Okay.
they're just gonna have so
Okay.
many
Yeah.
hands.
Right, 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 right. That makes sense.
Um,
Okay.
and but what would make sense to me is like, say I bet like three big blinds on the flop here, right?
Mm.
And then the
Okay.
turn is like the seven of hearts. You can just bet a third pot or something on the turn because then they're gonna have like pairs with a heart
Yeah,
that
and
might
that'll make
call,
them continue. Okay. Yeah.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
Um, and then just like checking a bunch on the river. Um, so that's kind of like the game plan I have in my mind. I mean, Ace Queen is strong enough. You can. It's not like a mistake or anything to bet quarter pot or third pot, but like in my mind, like the strategy that makes the most sense to me would be like we have hands that want to bet very small, like pocket queens or like king
Yeah.
jack suited,
Yeah.
right? And then we have
Yeah.
hands that want to bomb it like ace king.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
this one just kind of falls like right in the middle. It can
Right.
go either
Right.
way. I think
Okay.
if
That makes
you're,
sense. Yeah.
yeah, I would just funnel this hand into the size you think makes the most money against your opponent.
Okay.
But just be aware that like you're not getting a ton of value out of this hand
Right. Right.
from the
Right.
low
Yeah.
jack, right? Because like
Yeah. Yeah.
if this was like small blind versus button, I am just piling money in with this
Yeah.
hand,
Right.
right? And
Okay.
we because we don't really care. Like
Yeah.
they never have two pair here. They might have a set sometimes, but like our hand is so strong that we're gonna run into it sometimes, but we just like want to get as much value out of like
Yeah.
ace nine.
That
They
makes
have
sense.
like as bad as ace nine suited if they're on the button, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
That makes a lot of sense.
yeah, but yeah, my default strategy here is betting very small with most of my hands here.
Okay.
Okay, this is fine. Um, okay, good. I mean, after you bet a little bit bigger, I like the check here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so what are you thinking?
Um. Honestly, when he bets that much, he either has a pair ace X pair, and he's trying to like see if a flush would like re-raise him or something. It's pretty much like a pro bet for him. But
What do you think his value bets are?
flushes, I guess he's trying to bet his if he had two pair like ace king, he's betting right now. Um, any any ace X pretty much too. He's betting that if
Yeah.
he had like ace five somehow and he like stuck with it, he's probably betting that too. I don't really give him a lot of credit for having sets like turning an eight or something. I didn't really think that was believable. I felt like my hand was still too good to fold.
Yeah, I would generally agree. Like, I mean, we're gonna have the same hand sometimes, right?
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
and
that's
especially
another thought.
especially at like lower end micro stakes, like players are generally not great at evaluating hand
Yeah,
strength.
yeah.
So let's see if I have a sim that can. Because honestly, I don't know if my general thoughts on the flop strategy are I'm not too sure.
Hmm.
This is Ace King Six Rainbow, which is going to be a bit different.
Okay.
There's not going to be like there's going to be more big betting with
Right, because there's no flush like possible. Well, that's
yeah.
that's another thing I've noticed too. Like the Sims and GCL Wizard, it likes to size down when there's like draws on the board.
Yeah, and especially out of position here because
Yeah.
so the way I think about it is so if we have Ace Queen here,
Hmm.
um, you have to think about the number of runouts you get value on.
Okay. Yeah.
Like even if you have Ace King, like if there's a flush draw on the board,
Hmm.
um, any heart completes a flush,
Yeah.
and then there's also like the backdoor flush or the four flush runouts where you basically get no value out of your hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas like on a rainbow board, that's not
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
Let's see, what is this? I I think I'm wait what? No, this isn't right. What? uh, okay, these yeah, something's wrong with the sim. I don't know exactly what it is. Oh yeah, I definitely messed the ranges up here. Okay, we're not gonna pay any attention to that. Um, I'm gonna pull up a hijack versus small blank because I know those are okay. Let's see, do I have Ace King X? I have Ace Queen 9 and Ace Jack Deuce. Um, so anyhow,
Yeah.
yeah, I think you know our hand is we're not loving our hand, but like this is kind of the amount of money I want to put in with this hand. You know,
Yeah. That's the
if we and then if we face like a big river bet, like I think we have a pretty
yeah,
trivial
insta
fold.
fold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll only say insta fold because this kid, he was like, stats look kind of tight to me.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
this is
yeah.
I, I don't know. I wouldn't hate a turn fold either.
Okay.
Because you know we'll have like Ace Queen with a heart or like
Yeah.
Ace King or you know like. But
That's
yeah,
another thing
I think our hands okay just to call a turn. It's fine.
that's another thing I got wrapped my head around too is like realizing I'm not just playing this hand, I'm playing my whole range.
Yeah, I mean,
So
yeah, I mean, your strategy. I mean, the fun thing about coming up with complicated strategies is that you know the strategies kind of form themselves in the sense
yeah,
that uh, all the lines you want to use are just basically taking the line your hand wants to do.
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
you're just kind of like mixing bluffs into all the different sizes at equilibrium,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty ballsy value bet on the turn. I don't really
Okay.
know what's going on there. Um,
So yeah, the reason why I tagged that one, I just it was one of those hands like I wasn't sure if I played it right or if I should have played it at all.
no,
So
I mean your line is fine. Your line is
okay.
fine. But like
Okay.
ace jack in position on the turn there is just like that's just putting too much money in
Right. You
with
should
this
just
hand,
at least check.
especially on a flush completing turn.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna call with a king,
Yeah.
you know, and you don't have any worse ace x. So
Yeah. Um
okay, so this is gonna be a bit different because it's hijack versus small
hmm
blind on these ace high double Broadway boards. Yeah, so this is ace queen x and ace jack x, and notice how out of position is only doing small betting. They're not
Okay.
doing
Yeah.
any big betting on ace jack deuce and ace queen nine. So um, say this was like small blind versus button. Okay,
Right.
there's going to be more big bets
Yeah.
on boards like these. So why do you think out of position is only betting small
Only
when it's like a tighter configuration like hijack versus small blind as opposed to like button versus small blind?
gotta be it's gotta be because, you know, the earlier the position, the tighter the ranges are, so you don't really wanna they might have some of the same hands, the range I wanna say the equity distribution might be the same or like
Yeah, it's going to be a lot closer, right?
right,
Because
right.
like imposition's going to have like ace king here,
Okay.
whereas like small blind versus button, the button's not flatting a three bet with ace king.
Right.
So then on a board
Okay.
like this, if you have, or like on a board like ace jack deuce, if you have ace king, you're
hmm
getting a ton of value out of because like if you pile money in, they're never able to call you down with a hand you chop with,
Right.
right? You
That
you
makes
strictly
a lot of
have
sense.
the best ace x.
Yeah.
Um, so you generally just do a lot more piling.
Okay. So
Um,
like that's been one of the things that's messed me up a lot is in three bet pots out of position. If I should like continue out of position on the flop or just check. So pretty much like the hands that so since we three bet on the Broadway boards, we like to pretty much do a lot of betting because we're the three better. Am I getting that right or
yeah, yeah.
okay.
Um,
Okay.
I mean, generally on double Broadway boards as the three better, you're going to do a ton of betting regardless of
Okay.
the configuration. But this just
Okay.
demonstrates because notice how like on Ace Queen nine, this is
Yeah.
supposedly like a very good board for out of position, right? Because we have
Right.
like all the sets and a bunch of two pair, but we're only
Yeah.
betting like we're never betting more than a quarter of the pot, and
Yeah, that's crazy.
most of our bets are just 10% of the pot.
Okay. That
Um,
makes a lot of sense.
because like as you pointed out, um, the equities are going to be much similar. Um, like notice at the top of the range here,
Yeah.
the equity
Oh
distribution
shit.
is very close. Um, the only reason like imposition has this equity disparity towards the bottom is just because imposition is going to be more pocket pair heavy.
Yeah.
So they're just going to have like dog shit pocket pairs, whereas like out of position doesn't really three bet many pocket pairs in this
Right.
like remember against earlier position opens the small blinds flatting most of the pocket pairs,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's where this
Okay.
asymmetry comes from. But yeah, you pretty much hit it head on.
Okay.
Okay, so this is small blind versus button on ace queen three,
Hmm.
and now now we see out of position betting three quarters of the pot.
Yeah.
Like they're betting 18 big blinds into 24. Um,
Wow.
and notice how Ace King makes up most of that range.
Okay. So when
Um,
we definitely have it, we definitely want to bet on these kind of boards.
yeah, yeah. When there's like more of a range asymmetry, right?
Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot of sense too, though.
Mm-hmm.
But that was been like, I want to say that was probably one of my hugest, like, I don't even know if that's a good word, but probably one of my biggest leaks so far is just like knowing, like, all right, I three bet pre-flop, now I'm out of position, small blind or whatever. Like, it's okay to bet on these type of boards. Like, I don't want to check back on, I don't really want to, that's another thing with my studying, I really don't like checking out of position in three bet pot. You at least want to bet something like 10%. It's
Well, I mean, it depends on the board, obviously.
yeah, yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
Um, I mean, on lower boards, generally, we shouldn't be doing much betting.
Okay.
Um, because like the betting frequency is a function of the equity of our range and like how many of our
Okay.
bluffs pre-flop improve, right? So like
Yeah.
if we three bet small blind versus hijack and we get a board like, you know, 6-6-4, none of our high cards improve, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Um, and our range is relatively polar in the sense that the hands that we have incentive to three bet are going to be pretty strong or pretty weak.
Okay.
So,
So
uh,
check it. Yeah.
we definitely got to work in checks, and the hands we're three betting that are weaker, they're just going to be high cards, and so on boards
Yeah.
where the high cards don't improve, we got to
Okay.
have some give ups.
Okay.
So what was another hand you had tagged?
Let's do I want to do another hold let's do well, sorry, there's a lot, but I just want to get like the ones that like I had really problems with. Oh, that look. All right, let's do 238
238
719
719.
00
Wait,
6638. So,
zero. Wait, 1 second. Zero
oh, yeah,
zero.
yeah, yeah, two zeros and 6638. It's
Okay.
gonna be pocket aces.
All right. Okay, so we open the small blinds. Villain calls 965. So what do you think about this board in general?
It's um
Well, before we talk about that, let's
yeah,
let's talk about this opponent we have here.
okay.
Um, over 70. He's a 77 VPIP.
Yeah,
This guy
yeah,
looks very loose and very aggressive. Would that be
yeah.
fair to say?
Yes, sir. That's kind of a reason why I was not sure what the hell to do on the flop with this board.
Okay, so let's talk about some fundamentals, right?
All right.
So generally, this is not going to be a board we bet very often. There's like a bunch of like
Okay.
low two
Yeah.
pairs and stuff and straights and stuff that's gonna help in position defend a lot.
Yeah.
Um, so when we're out of position, um,
Mm-hmm.
the EV between betting and checking good hands becomes a lot closer because
Okay.
uh, we can check and face a bet.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, my initial thoughts is if this guy is like a loose passive whale type, you know,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
kind of like a knit fish sort of thing. I would tend to just like bet myself and just try to go
Okay.
for three streets.
Okay.
Um, Barring some really disgusting run out. If it was like 9-8-7 two tone, then I would do some more checking. But
Okay.
this is a relatively dry board, even though it's kind of connected.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think on this board, um,
I just
if
didn't feel comfortable betting right here. Like it just
well,
seemed super. I don't
so
know.
your hand's still very good. Your hand's
Yeah.
still very good, right? It's
Yeah.
just the reason we're checking a lot of our range in theory is
Hmm.
because a lot of our hands are just air on this
Yeah.
board.
Yeah.
Um, like all of our strong high card hands are just like the king queen of diamonds or
Hmm.
whatever. Those
Hmm.
just whiff, right? So
Yeah.
we're doing a lot of checking, um, and I mean on a nine high board, we're probably not checking that often. But if the board was like 6-5 deuce or something, we would do a ton of
Yeah.
checking. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
um, the lower the high rank of the board, the more we're going to check out of position here. Um, and so, but here's the thing: is
Hmm.
if I know this guy's very loose and aggressive, um,
He should bet for me, correct?
right? So
Okay.
if he's betting very often when check two,
Hmm.
uh, yeah, I mean we don't have much of a sample size, but his c bet imposition is 9 out of 11. Um,
Yeah. That's one of the things I saw.
mm, let's see. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we don't have a much of a sample size here, so the post flop stats aren't going to be too reliable. But
Okay. Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, the guy seems generally pretty loose and aggressive. So if I have a hand like this, I'm probably checking.
Okay.
If I have something like queens or
Hmm.
jacks, I would bet those, right?
Okay. That makes,
Because those
yeah.
need a little bit more protection.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I generally just like checking this hand.
Okay.
Okay, like to see it. Okay, check call. Okay, I can get behind that, especially with this player type.
Yeah. That's, I mean, would it be wrong to say I'm kind of turning my hand into a bluff catcher?
Well,
Or
not
it's
not
still too
yet,
strong? Okay.
not yet. I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
like, uh, no, I mean we beat value.
Yeah. Okay.
Like your hand's strong enough to check raise. Like part of the issue is just that there's like on a connected board like this, there's just so many
Okay.
runouts that would fuck up your
Right.
hand. So
Okay. So that's why we wouldn't want to check raise.
yeah, because like
Okay.
playing out of position on a board like this is going to be really tough with one pair.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Um, very nice turn. Okay, now, hmm. Well, what sorts of value hands do you think he's doing this with?
Um,
Because I'm kind of suspicious.
I don't
Like,
think I don't think he has any. No,
yeah,
I
like
don't know.
he might just never be value about it. Because like he's
Yeah.
trying to tell us he has a nine. If he had a
He's
jack, he
trying.
would bet bigger.
Right.
But like I don't think people at low stakes like this would bet a nine like this very often. I mean, this guy might like this guy's obviously much looser, so he's definitely capable. But
I
um,
just felt like his range was so wide where it's like he could literally have.
he could have all sorts of hands.
82.
He could be
Yeah.
betting like 7-6 or something.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
but with aces with a club in your hand, like I mean, you're very comfortable check calling turn. Um,
okay. Yeah.
but I mean, the reason I'm check calling a lot here, especially with the club, is because um, I think he's just always bluffing here. So, not that your hand isn't strong. It's just like relative to check raising. Like
Yeah.
like let's say he was value betting here. Let's say this was like a fish that's kind of on the nittier side, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
Uh,
would think he had like a set, maybe.
well, no, I mean like
Not even that strong.
well, no.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
a fish is gonna bet a lot bigger with a good hand,
Okay. Yeah. You're all right.
right?
You're all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, um, a fish like this could have like ace nine or queen jack or something. In which
Okay.
case, I would check raise,
Okay.
kind of
That makes
small.
sense.
You make it like 14 big blinds, and then if you get like a draw completing river or something, um, you can check, and then if you get a brick, you can bet small. You know,
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
put in however many big blinds you think aces is worth against like a range of 9x and jack x and pair plus street draws and those sorts of things.
Okay.
Um,
That makes sense.
but yeah, against a guy that's gonna bet a lot for you, I just like checking.
Okay.
Okay, this is. Oh.
Like,
Okay,
dude, it
here's
made
the.
no sense.
Okay, well, so now I'm definitely check raising.
Okay. All right.
Um, because
That's,
so
I know I
first
made a
thing
mistake.
first thing is, I mean, obviously, there's significantly less combos of like 6-5, 9-5, um, jack five, pocket fives, and now you beat all the two pair.
Mm-hmm.
So you beat 9-6, you beat jack six, you beat jack nine, um, and there's only one straight available.
Yeah.
And if he has I mean, if he had something like two pair on an earlier street, he definitely would have bet bigger, right? So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go out on a limb and say he never has a boat here.
Okay.
Um, and then he could be getting kind of fancy with a street, but I think a loose aggressive player like this is just gonna bomb it with a straight.
Okay.
So if you
Yeah.
really think through, this is where it gets important to be focused, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's very easy to just look at a board that's kind of scary and be like, oh, um, you know, I have a bluff catcher. When in reality, if you think through all the hands he
Probably have.
probably has,
Yeah.
your hand is worth another 20 big blinds at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
I
guess in game, like I was not scared, but I was just like, dude, what the hell? Like, either I'm getting set up and he has something really good, or he literally has nothing, and he's just like
which
blasting the pot.
I mean, so here's the thing against fish betting this size,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna be bluffing a lot. Like fish just
Okay.
bluff for these smaller
Yeah.
sizes on the river a lot. They're just trying to get you to fold like ace king or something, or
Yeah.
like a busted flush draw.
Yeah.
So in their mind, they're just like trying to give themselves like a cheap price on a bluff, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Um, just hoping you fold some ace high that got sticky. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, so he's going to be bluffing a lot. But like if he has a jack here, he's feeling really
Hmm.
good about his hand
Yeah.
because like he probably doesn't think you're check calling aces on the flop, right?
No.
So
No.
then if he has like king jack or something on the turn, he's feeling very good about his hand.
Yeah.
Um, so I think we gotta check raise this one.
Yeah.
But it's like again, it's not like a massive mistake, but
Okay.
I think if
But it's
you
still something I need to like get better at because
well it
I come
actually
across it.
actually I think this is a pretty big mistake against especially against a fish. If this was a reg, it's not
Yeah.
gonna be
Yeah.
like it a reg's gonna have a lot of strong hands here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe not a lot, but like more than a fish would.
Right. Right.
Um, So yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
so definitely against
there's
these like really fun players, like yeah,
yeah, like
just really size it up.
yeah, I mean, just really because like if he took a slightly different line, like maybe he bet like three quarters on flop and three quarters on turn, um,
Yeah,
or like he potted turn or something, then yeah,
right,
this is a lot closer, right?
right.
But
Okay.
like he
But he just
never he
half
never
pot.
half pots
Right,
a
right,
really strong hand here.
all right.
Okay.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. Um, so, all right, let's do 9-3. Oh, sorry. 2-3. 2-3-9.
Mm-hmm.
0-4. 1-3. 9-5. 4-3-1. It's gonna be
Kings.
pocket. Yep, pocket kings.
Okay. Okay. Open button, big blind calls. Okay, so this looks like a pretty loose fish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so queen 10-6 and we get donked into.
Yep.
Okay, we're raising. That's good. Oh boy. Um. So first of all, I'd raise a bit smaller. I'd make it more like 7.
Okay. I think,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah,
I
I don't think we need
definitely,
to go quite. I mean, this is over pot.
yeah.
I just yeah. Okay, so flop three bets are generally scary, but against a very loose fish like this, fish just have a tendency to click buttons,
Yep.
right?
Yep. That's kind
So
of, and I mean, he was kind of doing it the whole entire time he was at the table.
so against yeah, I mean, obviously I wasn't on this table.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So like are you still feeling good about your hand here? Cuz
Um,
like I don't have the read, you know.
I'm not, I'm not too scared, but I'm still wondering like, what the hell is he doing this with?
Mhm.
Like, cause I know the only hands that I would do this with is like, I don't like a set maybe. Even then, I don't know if I'm like
Well, first of all,
re-raising. Like,
you're not donking this board.
well, yeah, there you go. Yeah, so no, I
I
don't
mean,
think
it's not going to be aligned. Like you don't really know what's going on.
it. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's one of those
Um,
hands where it's just like I feel like I'm making a mistake somewhere in the hand
right.
somehow.
So generally against these really high VPIP guys,
Hmm.
guy looks to be a bit more on the aggressive side. Like it doesn't look like a net fish.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just generally not gonna fold at least until
Okay.
the river. Like
Okay. That's
if
kind
we
of
get a
the
shitty
thinking I
run,
had.
if we get a shitty run out, we can reevaluate.
Okay.
But generally, like against a guy this loose, we're just not folding. That's just
Okay.
not in the game plan.
All right.
Um,
That's another reason why I wanted to show this one because that's the main thing that was going through my head when I was
right.
playing this hand is
So if
like,
you look at if you look at the guy to your right, so
hmm,
villain 13. So this is like a his V. So he's a 54-8-0. Okay.
okay, yeah, yeah,
If this guy is three betting the flop, I am shitting my pants,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Um, but against this guy, I'm feeling just fine.
okay, yeah, okay. So that's kind of the mindset I was in for this hand.
Right. Okay. So we
There was just
call.
no way I was folding to this kid.
Yeah. Okay. So we get a really clean turn, which is nice. So
Uh,
so I'm thinking
okay.
um, he has a trap,
Mm-hmm.
or he has some dog shit hand that's worth
Mm-hmm.
nothing. He had the Jack 3 offsuit or whatever or whatever. You never
Yeah.
know. And
Right.
then
Right.
or he just has a queen
Okay.
that he. I mean, this guy's a whale. He's just mashing buttons. A fish can show up with queen 8 here. You know.
So I kind of this is where I think I made a mistake at.
Okay.
I kind of bet pretty big just because, but the dynamic was like he's just a fish, so I'm thinking he's gonna call it in
I don't mind betting big. I mean,
like pretty big though. I'm talking about like
oh, like basically a
yeah,
jam. Um,
yeah, pretty much.
oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
reason,
In hopes
uh,
that yeah, I did not
so
like it,
so
but
here's the thing: is
hmm
if I'm betting turn, I'm not betting to bet fold.
okay,
Um, and so then the question is, because like sometimes like a whale's gonna have you know Jack 9 and spaz like this. He can put money in with a worse hand
dude, you're
sometimes.
good. You are fucking good. That's
Uh,
exactly what he had.
yeah. I've seen this song and dance before, you know. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, that checks out.
All right.
But what I was gonna say is, if we're gonna bet,
Mm-hmm.
I just like a smaller bet.
Okay.
Because like if you jam, he might just, you know, uh, he's probably not gonna fold a queen, but
Yeah.
we don't want to give him any outs, right?
Exactly. We don't want to make his decision easier, and
Right, right.
that's what I
So
find myself doing a lot. It's just
yeah,
like,
and then well, think of it this way: um, you can bet 25 big blinds here. So then the pot's
okay.
100 big blinds. You have 50 big blinds
Yeah.
left on the river. He's
Yeah. And
never
then
folding a
shove.
queen on the
Yeah.
river.
Yeah.
But
That's
like if you just jam turn, he might feel really bad about his hand. You know.
yeah. And working with the Sims and GTO Wizard, I've been finding out that the Sims really like the bet sizing. I think it's the right word, asymmetrical bet sizing, right? Where it's like,
A geometric bet
ge-
sizing.
there we go, there we go.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I'm learning, where it's like when it's at the river, it's either a shove or a check with certain
hmm
hands,
hmm
just because of how the bet
Yeah,
sizing
yeah. You
sets
just
up.
want to like set up a
Yeah,
nice like a small river jam.
yeah,
Yeah, similar thing. Like if you look at like 3 bet pot sims and 4 bet pot sims, like you like the solver really goes way out of its way to spread its bets across multiple
yeah,
streets.
yeah.
Um, like you know there could be like a really low SPR on the turn, and
hmm
the solver will bet like 10% of the pot and then jam the river for like a fifth of the pot.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yep.
it's just like a very
Yeah.
it's a fundamental of poker in general, but especially hold'em because
Yeah.
um, like especially in really tight range spots, it's very way ahead, way behind.
Yeah.
Um, so you just make more money by spreading your bets across multiple streets. I'm
Yeah.
not going to go through the math on stream here, but
It makes sense. I already.
basically, for every bet size, there you have some optimal folding frequency.
Yeah.
Okay, so like
Yeah.
if someone pots it, uh, you know, 1 minus optimal folding frequency is going to be around a third. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
so basically, if
So,
you multiply 1 minus the folding frequency across multiple streets, your opponent is going to have to stack off with more hands.
Okay.
like a higher percentage of the time,
That make-
as opposed to if you just bet really big on one street, they're gonna have
Okay.
to fold more.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay. Okay, so we had Jack nine and we stack
Yeah.
his ass. That feels good.
Yeah, but like, so knowing that bet sizing, I can just do that instead.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, just bet like half pot on the turn. Whatever size he would never dare fold a queen to.
right, right, okay, that makes sense. Um, I want I want to show a hand where we have a limper because I have been kind of struggling. Well, not struggling, but like multi-way. I've been like I'm not sure. I know I want to play a lot tighter than I normally would because there's another person in the hand, but I still find myself struggling a lot in multi-way pots.
Okay, go ahead and get the hand number. I'm gonna get more coffee. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. Is that two numbers? Three bet cold. He just shoves.
Okay.
Hmm.
Did you find one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. Just, I just don't want to do the wrong shit. That I'm like, no, this is good. This is good. Yeah, it is gonna be another pocket kings, but 239
Uh huh.
04 13 79502.
79502. Okay.
Yep.
Kings. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So this is
Uh,
gonna be a cold four, right?
yeah, but I don't.
Oh
I think
yeah, I
this is
don't
pretty
like
straight.
this. Oh
Yeah, this
oh oh wait.
straightforward.
Okay
Yeah,
okay.
this is short stack.
Okay, I see. Okay,
I
that
thought
makes
you
a
was
lot more
full.
sense.
Yeah,
Um. Yeah.
but
So I mean, the thing about this is it doesn't really matter what size we use
okay,
relative. Like the short stack isn't gonna change our size really because like whatever size we go, he's gonna have to stick his stack in regardless.
okay.
Because
So I shouldn't worry.
even if we min click it,
Okay,
like he's still gonna have like 10 big blinds left. So
yeah.
that doesn't really change anything. Um, so when we're cold four betting, generally we need to be going smaller uh, with the hands we continue because
So I could
the
do 24. 24 would be good.
yeah,
Okay,
pretty small. That I think. I mean, at low stakes, I go a little bit bigger, maybe like 27 or something. Just because like everyone's way too loose.
okay,
The only reason you do this in theory is because the under the gun player is uncapped. Um,
okay.
so
Yeah, yeah.
uh, and I mean, yeah, you're gonna be going a bit bigger out of position. Um,
Okay,
but yeah, it's just unnecessarily big. Like
that's what I figured.
he could probably just like he might just snap fold like jacks or queens or something
Yeah,
here. You know. Um,
yeah. So I could just stick to the regular sizings. I don't have to like just because he's short stacked or whatever.
yeah, don't get
Do
fancy.
any. Okay, all right. That's pretty much the only thing like with that hand. Like I just because there was two callers and like yeah, I pretty much just blew him out of the hand doing that.
Okay, yeah. I
Um,
mean that was a pretty uneventful hand.
yeah,
Let's look at some of this.
okay.
So we're gonna look at. Oh, actually, uh, heads up, single raise pots. I'm gonna take a look at the big blinds. See how you've been doing here. Okay, so we call an open from the hijack, king jack, check half call, check big call, check check. Looks good to me. Nothing much to say about that.
Okay.
This defend I think may be a bit loose.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you
Um,
know? Do you
I
know?
think
Do you know
I
off the top of your head what the rig structure is?
oh I do not.
Okay, yeah,
Uh,
I need you to look that up for me
All
if you
right.
could.
So it would just be Poker Stars Michigan rake structure, right?
Yep, yep, exactly. Yeah, so at the 500 NL rake, it's a pure fold. So I'd imagine, at the
Yeah,
higher rake, it's going to be even worse.
yeah. Um, definitely. Wow. 5%. Right?
What's
Am I looking at this right?
Yeah, 5%. What's the cap?
It is 5 plus player cap is $1.50. Hold on, let me.
For 5 cent, 10 cent.
Yeah,
Okay, so
I just
really,
sent you that.
a
Yeah, I
dollar
just sent you.
fifty?
Yeah, I just sent you that screenshot.
Oh wow, that is
A lot, right?
that's very high. Yeah, that's like a 15 big blind cap.
Holy shit.
I mean,
So I
it's like
definitely,
it's
I
like
want
almost
to.
uncapped. I mean,
Mm,
like 500 NL is one big blind cap for reference.
wow.
Yeah, so the rake is like eating you alive.
The rake
Um,
at, but the rake at one, isn't the rake at 1 2? So that's still high too, right?
Wait, what's the rake at 1-2?
Um,
Hold on, I'm gonna look at the message you sent me on my
yeah,
phone.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, and then at one, are you talking about $1, $2?
Yeah, isn't that still kind of high? $3, five.
No, well, no, that's 1.5 big blind cap,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
that's not that high. And then at 2.5, it's 60% of a big blind cap. I mean, that's pretty good, but
So I want to play tight as shit
yeah, really,
to beat
really
the
tight. Yeah.
to beat the rate,
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah. I didn't realize it was that high. I mean, usually it's somewhere around like, like 6 to 10 big blinds somewhere in there, but 15
Right.
is insanely high. Although to be fair, I haven't really kept up with micros rakes on different sites. But
Right.
yeah, that's a very high cap, so we got to be playing very, very tight.
Okay.
Um, and just be playing a lot closer to razor fold pre. So something
Okay.
like this, Queen 7.
Bold. Queen seven
Yeah, I
suited.
mean, what was this? A three big blind open?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is 500 NL rake, and
And
our
they're not
hand's
even
still a pure
calling.
fold.
Yeah.
So
Why did I call that hand? Uh,
yeah,
uh,
this is gonna be really bad at this rake structure. Um, yeah, I mean, it's fine.
and then I just check fold
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. Okay, so this Check bet call.
Okay.
Okay. Check. I just fold, but
Okay.
I mean it's not a huge mistake.
Yeah, it
Raise.
is. Wow, I should have folded that hand though.
We can't fold turn here.
On that one, on the
Yeah,
okay.
on the 9-7, yeah. Um,
What?
it's a
Mm,
two big blind bet. Like
okay. Okay.
he could just have like pocket fours with a spade or something.
But that's crazy because I felt like I was making a mistake by like continuing because I just have a seven on a
Well, I
flush
mean, if
board.
he's betting this size, he could be value betting a seven.
Okay.
Like think about the size.
Yeah.
Like sometimes he has a better seven or something, but like you're almost getting direct odds just to hit a seven or a nine.
Okay.
And then
Yeah, when you said
most of the time he's just gonna have a worse hand.
okay.
Um, if a fish bets these really small sizes, we should be getting a little bit sticky.
Okay. All right.
Okay, this is another one I'd be three betting a lot at this rig structure. Um, it's an offsuit hand. It's not gonna play that well. If we have king
Okay.
queen suited, we can flat that one facing an EP open, but
But
I'd be leaning much
okay.
more towards three betting and taking this down pre.
Okay. I just wasn't that's another one of those hands where it's like I know either way, well, not either like offsuit we wanted three bet more just because of what you said.
Yeah,
So,
like I mean,
okay.
facing an EP open, we're basically turning this hand into a bluff, right?
Okay.
Um, but it's going to be a lot better than flatting at this rate structure.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I think this is kind of interesting. Um, so after he checks back the flop on a board like this, he's not really going to have overpairs anymore, right?
No.
So we're not like value owning ourselves against kings and aces, right?
Okay. Okay.
So the only hands we're really scared of are like, queen 10,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which we have a queen
Mm-hmm.
in our hand, so we're not really worried about that. And then ace queen,
Yeah.
which he could have, but um, after it goes check check, we're feeling pretty good about our hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's nice about having a club in our hand is our hand is going to be worth more on the river on average because
Mm-hmm.
um, so first of all we block flush draws,
Right.
so it's a lot less likely as a flush draw, especially when we have a high club in our hand. And then B,
Okay.
if he does have a flush draw, we block his outs. Um, and say we like hit a queen on the river, it's not going to be the queen of clubs.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
across all these different runouts, our hand is going to be worth a lot more when we have a suit in hand. So generally, when we value bet our hand on the turn, if we have a suit in our hand, we're going to bet bigger.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Um, so yeah, so here I think I bet like, you know, five big blinds or something.
Okay. Now
Uh,
I think one of the reasons why I don't really remember this hand, but I think one of the reasons why I didn't bet this turn is because I kind of felt like it hits his range more than mine. I might be getting that
it,
wrong
it
though.
it definitely does, but
Okay.
so first thing at low stakes, we want to
Hmm.
be value betting every chance we get.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, I mean against EP opens, we need to be checking this card a lot.
Okay.
Um, it's just like when we have the suit in our hands.
It's a good one to bet.
It's just like such a good hand that I
Okay.
just want to bet it myself at low stakes. You're right that like in theory a sound strategy
Hmm.
is to be checking this card a lot.
Okay.
Um, but on a board this dry
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
we
Check check.
even in theory we have to have bets on this turn because on a board this dry after it goes check check he
Hmm.
basically is saying I don't have tens plus.
Okay.
So now when we turn a queen, we're feeling much better about our hand.
Yeah.
So we should have bets here.
Okay. That makes sense then.
We're just not going crazy. You know,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
not you know
So like a
gonna be
half pot maybe.
we're not gonna be betting 10x or pocket eights or whatever, right?
Okay.
On this turn
Yeah.
card because like you
Yeah,
said,
that's true.
it hits
Right.
their range pretty well.
Right.
So I just bet like, five big blinds, 4 or 5
Okay.
big blinds.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, our hand's pretty good, and then
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
on a brick follow up with like a similarly sized bet,
Okay.
and then if the river is like somewhat draw completing, then you can just like block river. Um,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
now we have like a really really good hand after it goes check check, right? Because he's
Yeah.
always going to be betting ace queen. So the only hand we really lose to is like ace seven or something.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling very good about my hands. And
So
probably,
definitely betting.
yeah, definitely betting. I'm thinking more like
Yeah.
pot, uh,
Okay.
even bigger maybe.
I gotta stop giving these kids so much credit then.
Yeah, no, I mean it checked down to the river.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So it's like I bet something.
they can't have an overpair. They're rarely gonna have a queen.
Okay.
Um, they're probably never gonna have a flush draw because if they have a flush draw, they're always gonna bluff this turn,
Right.
right?
Right. 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 Right.
So
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, I hate this. I hate this so much. Yeah,
I hate it too. Trust me.
cause like yeah, you're just like letting them check down ace king.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I just I don't understand this one. Um, if you get to the river on a check down line, like here's the thing is
I
people
have a
are
pair of just
really
bet.
like humans are really bad at constructing check back ranges.
Okay.
So after it goes check check on two streets, a human is just gonna
Hmm.
have ace high a lot. Like the
Okay.
like what a solver will do is um be a bit more balanced and check back some weak hands um to bluff the river.
Hmm.
But that doesn't happen in real life. Like
Yeah.
after
Okay.
they check back this turn card, they're just gonna have ace high all the time.
All
Or like
right.
pocket fours.
Yeah.
And we're just like letting them realize all of
Yeah.
their equity.
Okay.
Okay, so let's not do this.
Yeah. So what can I study? Because this is a spot where it's come up a
So
lot where I'm like not sure if I should even bet or not.
so next week what we're gonna do is I'm gonna drop a quiz,
Okay.
and it's gonna be like the questions are gonna be very quick. It's just gonna be okay on this river spot. How much are we betting? Are we betting? How much is our hand worth? Um, is our hand good enough to check raise? Those sorts of things. So we're
Okay.
going to be covering single raise pots mostly,
Okay.
and we're going to use a few different configurations. But um, yeah, I mean this is definitely a very very common mistake, like
Okay.
at low and even mid stakes is just like misevaluating the strength of your hand.
Yeah.
Um, so that's definitely something good to work on. That will be well worth our time.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so that's going to be the game plan for next time
Okay.
for the
Perfect.
next stream.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop that quiz and I'm going to send it to you.
Okay.
And on stream we'll review your answers.
All right. Perfect.
Okay. All right.
Um.
Yeah.
What day did you want to do that? Just sometime next week?
Let's do
I'm studying every day, so it
right.
doesn't
Okay.
really
Okay.
matter.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
let's put a pin in that because I have like
Okay.
some things going on this week and I don't know
Yeah.
exactly how my week is going to work out.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
But
You
let's
already
play
know
it.
I'm pretty flexible anyway.
Yeah, yeah, I am too. But
All right.
probably like Tuesday though.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All
Perfect.
right. Yeah, cool,
All
man.
right, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
See ya.